Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the month of April. And this has been a long-awaited month because I think after so much turmoil that this is the month that things are going to begin to clear. Now, we still got a little bit to go. We're not out of the water yet, but it's coming. And I think this month's going to be a lot of resolve and tying up loose ends, getting a lot of things complete and done from what was initiated, and moving on into the months of May, June, and July will be so much better. There will be a sense of peace. There will be a sense of accomplishment, a sense of bringing things back to the way they were, at least for the time being. But let's talk about what we have in store for us for April. We're still not out of the water yet, because around April 13th, I think we're going to see some events that are affecting the subject that I keep bringing up, oil and gas. Yes, I've been bringing it up throughout the year, and it has been a major issue. This is what has been fueling really a lot of the wars in the Middle East, aside from religion. And we're going to talk about that. So around April 13th is when Mars will be crossing over Neptune. And remember, Mars is the planet that really is the energy. It dictates what's happening as Mars runs around the zodiac. The signs and where it conjoins is really the marking of what's happening. So Neptune rules oil and gas. And I have noticed that whenever Mars comes together with Neptune, it usually has its effects dealing with oil and gas. And around this time, I think there's going to be things with tankers and ships, problems with ships and tankers with oil. Maybe they're being blocked from being able to proceed through the strait. And it's just incredible how powerful this oil situation is. It controls the world pretty much with energy. And there's going to be some major issues around the 13th. Then we move to the 19th and 20th. Those are the days that I think we need to be cautious of. So those are the days that I still see the violence, the possibility of attack. Because why? During this time, Mars will conjunct Saturn and Mercury all at the same time. And Saturn-Mars conjunction always deals with some type of setbacks, delays, issues, problems concerning, well, the economy and moving forward. There's just these aggravating events, very aggravating. And Mercury being involved in this deals with transport, transportation, travel, and communication. So it's not in a good place where it's wedged together with Saturn and Mars. And by the way, I thought I might even do a full video on people that have Saturn and Mars conjunction, because it is a difficult aspect, but it motivates people to get things done. So that's what's going to be happening. People are going to be forcing and making things happen to get things done. So that's what I see happening. And of course, we're not out of the water yet, especially with the issue with oil and gas. The prices will probably surge around the 13th through the 20th, big time from major events occurring. And I can't help but say, in Pisces is the sign that deals so much with the oceans and water. So that's why I say, look out, things will be happening in the waterways. Big events with ships and tankers and explosive events. But here's the other thing. We are still dealing with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Pisces. Now here's the good news. They're starting to move away from each other. And they were the reason why the oil and gas prices were exponentially, they rose to over $100 a barrel. From, I mean, it doubled, more than doubled. It's like crazy. And I've been talking about this for so long, to the fact where people were making fun of me, but now nobody's laughing because it's for real, it's happening, and it is a major issue. But taking it a little further, because we have the Saturn, Mars in Pisces, and they've been together for so long, since really the whole year. And I don't just mean 2026, I mean 2025 too. They've been really going back and forth together. And not only do they deal with Saturn's crude oil, Neptune is oil and gas, but they also deal specifically with our mind, our consciousness, our beliefs, and religious beliefs. And the fact that they're in Pisces makes it even more intense about what people believe. And this takes it into their beliefs with religion, their beliefs with politics. Everyone is so tied up with their beliefs and what they believe in so strongly that it's caused so many problems in the world. People are really polarized with everything to do with their beliefs right now. So here's what's been going on, whether you know it or not. We have been controlled through our beliefs our whole lives. This has been going on for forever, that we are being told certain things about what we believe religiously. And of course, there's been so many religious wars over the matter of religion. It's outrageous. And people think their religion's the only way. And my take on that is that there's something more to religion. Religion actually deals specifically with trying to originate law and order, to the 10 Commandments, to get people to follow law and order. But there's something far deeper than that, and that is spirituality. And I think religion might have been founded on that originally, but it got into a control mechanism. But spirituality is simply finding that spirit within ourselves. And that spirit is within all of us. That spirit is the divine, call it God, whatever your name is for it. But it's what gives everything life, and it is our divinity. We are connected to it, and when we connect to it, we find our power. We find our sense of true power. And what happens is when we become full of this divinity, this power, we help others, and we help others find their sense of power, their sense of connection to the divine. And what happens from this is that this is what I call spirituality, will bring love and peace and healing to the planet. Instead of fighting and contentiousness about that my belief is better than yours and you're going to hell and all of that other nonsense that has been taught to us forever. And getting back to beliefs, see, I'm talking about this Neptune and Saturn conjunction. That's what they deal with. Saturn is reality and Neptune is illusion, and they're in Pisces, which is the sign of belief, spiritual or religious spiritual beliefs. And that's what's come up for us. And I always say that politics, our belief politically, is somewhat based on like our religious beliefs. We are so powerfully vested in what we believe. And so they're one and the same in a sense, not exactly, of course. But what I mean is the power of what we believe in spiritually, religiously, is similar to the passion that we have beliefs in with what we believe politically. They're similar in the way that they control us, if I could say it like that. That's what I mean. And for so long, the media, social media, everything that comes at us is telling us how to believe. And people latch on to a certain way they want to believe. And therefore they watch the news channels that give them what they want to believe. When they go on YouTube, the algorithms figures out what they like watching, and that's what they get. So what happens is their way of belief becomes more and more ingrained and confirmed that their way is the right way and the other way is completely wrong, because that's all they watch. And when you hear things over and over and over again, you tend to start to believe it. The media knows that. That's what they're doing. To polarize everyone. To get people to believe a certain way. And that's what's come of this world right now with the Saturn-Neptune. Now here is the good news. They're starting to move apart. So all of this extreme behavior with beliefs and fanaticism with religion and politics is going to start to separate. You're going to see as we get more towards the end of April. So April 2nd, Mars will leave Aquarius and go into Pisces. This will definitely soften Mars somewhat, because Aquarius is very staunch in its beliefs, but Aquarius in the nakshatras that it's been in, has been, and during the attacks on Iran, were in Shatabishak, ruled by Rahu, very violent, very extreme. And I knew it was coming astrologically because of Mars being there. Besides, it conjoined Rahu and crossed over the previous eclipse degree. I said exactly when it would happen. And it did. And now that Mars is leaving this sign, it will be in Pisces till from the 2nd of April to May 11th. And this will lead to finishing up things, completion. This is the last sign of the zodiac, and it's going to be in the last nakshatra. So this means closure, finishing up, tying up loose ends. Things are going to be much better, but watch out problems now with water, the oceans, the seas, the waterways, because now Mars is in the water sign, and guess what else this will do? Major storms. Look out. There's going to be some severe weather in April. Yes, severe weather. And the next thing is between April 10th and the 29th, Mercury is going to be in Pisces. And with Mercury in Pisces, it's in its debilitation sign, which this will stir up more events with water and weather and storms as well. But because Jupiter is in Gemini, and remember, I'm a Vedic sidereal astrologer, which is different than the tropical Western. Jupiter, by the fact that it is in Gemini and Mercury is in Pisces, they exchange signs. Because Pisces in Vedic astrology is ruled by Jupiter, and Gemini in Vedic astrology is ruled by Mercury. So they're in both each other's signs. This really lessens up the severity of this, makes it easier, makes it more comfortable to finish, to bring things to an end, closure, completion. Yes, things are going to be coming to an end with these terrible wars. So the resolution's on its way, and I believe this is going to bring a great understanding that by May we will have a lot more peace. And this will be the time that people will start to feel more united, instead of the way that this Neptune and Saturn conjunction, because I said it's all about beliefs coming out, and cults. You know, there are so many religious fanatical beliefs that are cults. And people don't look at it like that, but it absolutely is when you look at the definition of a cult, which is control. And that's what a lot of religious beliefs do. They control people's minds to actually do things they wouldn't normally do. And that's where we're moving away from this. Finally, it's been a heavy, heavy load, and this has been going on for a while. Before I forget, I do want to remind everyone about, if you sign up for my free newsletter, you will get all of these transcripts written out and sent to your email address for free. So go to galacticcenter.org, sign up for my free newsletter, and I want you to pay attention to all the other offerings I have. On my website, galacticcenter.org, I have a Patreon group where you can be part of a spiritual community. Yes, it's on my website. You can join, and I promise you, you will be connected to like-minded people. It's an amazing spiritual community. Join our Patreon. And don't forget my galactic planner. If you want to know how this Mars, Mercury, and Saturn are going to affect you personally in your own birth chart. Do you have any planets around 14 degrees of Pisces? You better find out, because this will affect you seriously. And you can avert some problems with this prior knowledge. You can find that out from my galactic planner. It does your individual birth chart and will put all the transits across your chart and tell you what days to avoid and what days you have opportunities. So this is such a valuable tool. Go to galacticplanner.com, try it out. We have so many new upgrades. You are going to love it. That I know. And the next thing I want to talk about is, if you want to learn Vedic astrology, join my university. It is self-paced, live classes all the time. You will learn. We have a whole support system. Go to universityofvedicastrology.com. So continuing on, another big thing that has been going on, and it will continue till August 1st, is we are in the alignment of what's called a Kala Sarpa Yoga. Means all the planets, the outer planets don't count in this mix, all the planets are on one side of Rahu and Ketu. And Rahu's the north node, Ketu's the south node of the moon. And when all the planets are on one side, it means it's a time of destiny, a time of intense events. And this will even intensify the good events. It's like everything is in the ultimate extreme during this time between now and August 1st. Look out, this is a time of incredible transformations that not only the world is making, but we are making individually. It is a time that we find our own power and our own freedom, especially this month. Look out, it's here, and you can take note of this. So I keep talking about how the world has been controlled by belief systems. And you know, what came to me was an analogy that I think can put this into perspective. It's like when a child is in a dysfunctional and abusive home, the services that know better can take that child, social services, and put it in a home where it can be adopted by loving parents and get a new life, freedom for a new life. But children, just like the people of the world, all they want is what they know and they are familiar with. And this is much like the people in the world that they're being forced to change their beliefs. They can't see it any other way. And they are only going to gravitate to what they are familiar with and what they know. So just like a child that's put into a foster home. All that child wants is to go back to its abusive parents because that's what it knows. This is the same thing going on with many of the people in the world that are forced to take away their religious beliefs that no longer serve them, but that's all they know. And so my point is, we're going to have a lot of people that believe a certain way, and they are going to be going pretty much crazy because of the change that's put on them. And another area besides religion, well, this does include religion, is that I've been talking about the alien exposure, the time of being aware that they are real. The governments are going to come out with this. This is what it's all about. And a lot of people cannot accept this because of their conditioning and their beliefs. And a lot of people are going to go crazy. But what I see from this is that many people, the ones that are ready for the transformation and the ones that embrace this new world, which it's coming now, they're going to be the world leaders because they are the power that will bring us to a new world, a new freedom, a new awareness, a wake up. This is called the Great Awakening. And as I keep saying, it's going to happen in June and July. The Great Awakening. And this is the time I feel that true disclosure will come about. The American government and governments around the world are going to say, hey, it's real. We've known about this for a while. And I think it's tied in a lot with AI because we couldn't come to the place that we are with AI and technical discoveries that are coming about as we speak this month, as well as healing developments that are going to come about this month if we didn't have some help. It's true. We have been helped, the governments. But once this disclosure comes out, that's going to be the shakeup that freaks everyone out. I know this is about to happen. That's where the planets are. And even being in the sign of Pisces, this stellium of planets, Pisces is the last sign. It's on the last frontier, which is space. And I think that this means there's going to be new discoveries on how to travel. Propulsion. Why haven't we been using propulsion instead of rocket fuel? Things are about to change dramatically. You have no idea where this is going. And aviation, but submarines, underwater, the oceans, things like that. We're going to make more discoveries about what's in the ocean. Do you realize we know less about what's at the bottom of our oceans than what's out in space? So much is to be discovered. It's coming out. You're going to find all sorts of new reports in the month of April. So looking at this, I want you to know that here's another indication of things that are really wonderful. And that is that after Mercury turns direct, March 20th, there are not going to be any planets retrograde. And retrograde planets mean you got to finish up old stuff. You got to go back, rehearse, review, reflect, everything to do with RE. Retest, reanalyze. It's done. Now we can start to move forward. And that's exciting. So with all the planets direct, the first one that will go retrograde will be Pluto in early May. But take advantage of this. It's time to move forward and move forward fast. Mercury's going to be moving at tip-top speed. And that means it's a time for progress and new discoveries and new goals that you can set even for yourself. This means earthly affairs will be moving forward. Nothing's here to hold us back anymore. So let's talk about the full moon. And it happens April 1st. It will be in Virgo. And it's in the nakshatra called Hasta. And Hasta is the hand, and Hasta grasps and holds on to things. It is a powerful nakshatra. But one thing I do find with all these planets in Pisces and the moon being, the full moon being in Virgo. Remember, this is the victim and victimizer axes of the signs. And there's going to be a lot of people calling the victim and the victimizer. You wait and see. All this is going to become very, very relevant. But we're going to have a healing from this. It's like, okay, we understand who the victim really is and letting that go. And that should be relative to your own life too. Remember this, I've said this 1,000 times. Victims never get anywhere because they're constantly blaming everything outside of their life for the problems they have. And it's only till you take charge and realize that you are part of the process that's causing what you don't like in your life and take control back to change. And when you do, your life opens and it changes. New opportunities appear that you had no idea of. This is a promise, but you gotta let go of being a victim. And probably a lot of you don't even realize you're being a victim. Just let me say this, if there's something that you really, really don't like in your life, quit blaming others or events or circumstances. Look within yourself to figure out how you can change it to make your life better. Then the door opens. That's it about the victim mentality. So another thing about the month of April that is very telling is that all the planets in Pisces at one point are going to be in the nakshatra Uttara Bhadrapada. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at around that time of the 19th and the 20th of April when Neptune, Mercury, Saturn, and Mars will all be together and tightly, exactly conjunct. And they'll be in the nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada. Why is this important? Because it is the funeral cot. And it is said to be the back legs of the funeral cot, which means there will be a death of someone in power. As a matter of fact, it could happen from March 24th onward to this time, because around March 24th, Saturn will conjunct the Sun. The Sun is a world leader. Saturn is endings. But moving up to the time of around April 19th and 20th, all the planets congregate in this nakshatra that represents the death of a powerful leader somewhere in the world. So just be aware that this nakshatra does represent death and a lot of power, and things can change dramatically because of this. Now, the new moon is going to happen April 17th, and it's going to be in Aries. And it's going to even be in the nakshatra called Ashwini. This means fast progress, moving forward, things at lightning speed. And Ashwini is the nakshatra that deals with the healers to the gods. And so I'm seeing that after this point in time, there's going to be new cures for disease coming out. I've been talking about this, but now's the time that the action is going to start happening, because we were so concerned with all these other things. It was one thing after another, and the wars and all these wars. Now we can start to move forward. After this new moon, this is a true new beginning. I am excited about. So many past issues are being worked out. The things are being tied up, completed, brought to an end. And let me just say, May, June, July will be so nice. Plan your trips, plan your celebrations during those months, because it's going to be wonderful. By the way, I might add this while I'm thinking about it. I planned a trip to Ireland. If you want to come join us, it's like a Vedic astrology conference. Every day I'm going to be teaching about 2 hours with Shrikala Ram. We are going to be teaching Vedic astrology. It is a conference, but all at the same time, we are touring beautiful, mystical, spiritual Ireland, because the energies are so powerful there. This is going to excel our learning capabilities. And it's the best time to travel. We've got an amazing lineup in the sky. We'll be talking about that. But it's from June 22nd to July 1st. Go to the website, sacredmysticaljourneys.com, or you can find it on my website if you go to galacticcenter.org and click on upcoming events. Join us, become our students, become our friend, enjoy this community. We only have 50 slots because that's how many our bus will only take. So it's filling up. Might be full by the time you listen to this, but sign up if you want to come join us in Ireland. And that's what I want you to know. That's a good time to travel. So there will be great resolution and completion in the month of April before we get to May. And past issues are being worked out, are being finished. And then I think we'll find a place of time of peace and unity. Boy, will that be different. And resolve in the world, and especially in our own lives. This will definitely, what is being reflected within our own lives, the peace and love, will be reflected to the world. So with that, I think I'll close. If you would like more information on me, always go to my website, galacticcenter.org. Thank you.